Going to Dallas tomorrow to work with him a little bit, and I'll see where he at, see where we can help him get back to, because I do want to see him get back on that horse and ride again. Those fans at that fight the weekend, they want to see him get back on that horse and ride again. Yeah. So if anything we can do to help him out, I'm going to go see what I can do to help get him back on the horse. And like I said, I don't have to be his trainer. I just want to help him get going and see what he can do. If he likes it, cool, just get back up. Sometimes we all go through these things, but the main thing is, can you get up from it? You're not judged by how you go down, it's how you get.
All right, man, let's talk about Roy Jones Jr. saying he going down to work with Errol Spence. Okay, so he said he ain't sure he gonna train him, just seeing if he can help him, and if he can help him and stuff. That he want to help a brother out. HBO help a brother out. I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I always talk about us, sticking together. In this black fraternity in boxing, we should stick together. If we have disputes with each other, we should handle that off air and offline, on the telephone or something like that. If we can't come to agreements, guess what? We just, we go our separate ways. A lot of people be upset about what somebody say, even if it's true. And Roy Jones and, Earl, Roy felt Earl was hating by picking Bud, and he felt a certain type of way. They had a conversation like men do, and they on good terms now. And people be thinking like, it's hate. Like it's being honest. And this is why in boxing you kind of see people kind of not want to pick sides and tell the truth when they give a synopsis or they give a prediction for a fight, because I get it, your craft is serious. But if I believe something, I believe something, and I'm honest. Or you ain't my boy because you didn't pick me, or I don't get into that, bro. It ain't nothing personal. And if it is personal, I'm gonna point it out in a video, or I'm gonna point out to you, well, it was personal. But that, but then again, they came to amends with that. And, some people say, Roy can't train. He tried to get people to fight like him. And, that's up to Errol Spence to figure that out, man. If that's a great fit, maybe they ramp it up. And he figure out, hey, I don't want to box no more. I don't want to do this shit no more. Sometimes you take that break, and it rejuvenates you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you find that love again, and he kind of been in the shadows, and he probably been doing self-work. That's what men do. We face adversity, and obviously the money that he set on is pretty good, but we face adversity, bro. We got to get to work, because if we don't get to work, if we sit on that adversity and we don't start solving that problem, it turns into depression real quick. Trust and believe me, I know. So we got to work. We got to work on solutions. We got to stay busy. We got to stay moving and shaking. So, us as men, it's in our DNA. And what makes you a man is is your mindset just to work. Even when the job is done, you find another job to do. You don't rest too long. This is why, women can't really fathom men. They can't really understand it. They can't really believe it. Like how you could work 20 years and not take a vacation, because it's in your DNA to be a worker. It's in your DNA to grind. It's in your DNA to go to work. If this hurt and if that hurt, and that's your job description. And they really want to redefine what, masculinity is. They want to redefine what being a man is. Oh, empathetic, sympathy, emotionally. No, being a man is I strap my fucking boots on and I work by any means necessary. I'm physically and mentally capable of doing so, so be it. A little cognac or whatever y'all drink. We'll skip Baylor, say Diet, Mountain Dew, whatever your vice. It could be a water, it could be whatever. It could be cranberry juice, whatever your vice is, a cigar, weed. You watch that with a nice game, watch a nice basketball game or boxing match, or you go bowling, or you go to the shooting range, you play, you whatever you may be, go to the movie, whatever your outlet is, skating. Going to the gym, that's your vacation right there for most men. But where the women kick in at is, they like, hey, we need a vacation. And sometimes that nature is right. And that vacation do you right. But when you get it from that vacation, get a little rest, you get right back to work. They can't understand how you can work so hard, so long for years and sacrifice for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And never really complain about it. So Errol Spence, I'm guaranteed he's been spending time with the family, working on himself, healing himself. But eventually when he get to camp or he start working and they start mimicking the camp, he's going to determine whether he wants to do this or not. That's the fact. Maybe they hire a liaison. They have liaisons come to these camps to see if these guys is on their P's and Q's. So sometimes you sit there and you go through it and you don't want to do it no more. Madonna was the same way. Madonna came back. He said the money wasn't right or whatever, but the pre dem whatever wasn't right. But he was like, I don't want to do this no more. Respect. So maybe Roy can put him through some things that mimic a training camp, or to see if I think that's the question. Do you really want to? You can say, yeah, I want to get back in it. And you start going through the grind and running. That's like having $5 million in the bank right now and going back to your $20 an hour job. Like, yeah, you say, I'll keep working, but the minute they say something to you that's out of bounds, they try some tomfoolery, you out of there. You out of there. That's the fact. You out of there. You ain't taking that bullshit. So it's hard to really find that fire when you don't have to no more, especially you had the injuries, the bumps and bruises, and what might drive him was the loss. A lot of dudes, I can't go out like that. You know what I'm saying? I can't go out like that. So I think Roy really there to test to see if he still want to go for it and be honest with him. Be like, you know what? Because when I seen him hitting the pass when he had his hair braided another half off, he looked horrible. I ain't gonna cap. He looked trash. And I ain't saying he looked like the most fluid boxer ever on the pads. But he looked hot garbage. He looked like Roscoe's hot garbage and waffles. No balance, no rhythm, off back. And who knows? Who knows? And maybe they can establish a rhythm and kind of mimic what a camp would be like. And he can make a determination and be real with himself. But that's up to him. That's up to him. And that time off probably was just needed for his family, for his body, for his peace of mind. It probably was needed, to be honest with you. It probably was needed. So who knows? Who knows? But hopefully Roy can help him figure it out. Maybe he could be a trainer. And maybe Roy can learn some things that, everybody not Roy. He's a very intelligent dude. So, and, for the most part, if Earl gonna bust a move, I feel like all this time, maybe he should have been building a camaraderie with a coach. A lot of people he loves staying in that Dallas area. A lot of people love that Dallas area. But sometimes you got to get uncomfortable a little bit, go somewhere else. But then again, whatever best suits him. So, hopefully Roy, can get him back on track, or help him make a decision on what do you want to do in the future. So, but 2 years off, going on 3. Sugar Ray Leonard took a couple years off after he came back versus my man's, forget my man's name. And he had the Tatasha Ratner. He was like, I'm done. Then he some years off. He seen Hagler, the Mugabe, the war, and he was like, I could beat him. And he came back and he was rejuvenated. So maybe Spence can get a rejuvenation. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he had the same injury that Errol Spence had. So who knows? So hopefully Roy can help him, or somebody can help him. But apparently, he still hasn't picked a coach. He still hasn't picked a coach. So I get it. But ultimately, it's gonna be up to him. His decision is going to be up to whether he wants to do this or not. And when he get to training or he get to sparring and get to hit for real, you'll know. He'll know. He'll know. But the game is tough. I'll tell you that. The game is a tough game, man. So hopefully he figure it out. Let's see what Roy can do for him, or help him point him in the right direction. You know, sometimes, you know, Roy can recommend a coach for him. You know, sometimes that's how I go. Hey, I know this dude right here, he'd be a good fit for you. So Roy really trying to help. It really ain't about Roy. Like Roy said in there, it's kind of like helping Earl get back on track for the best of Earl, because I want to see him come back. I want to see him win. I want to see him grind. I want to see him make that final push to make sure he is cemented in as a Hall of Famer. So when you got somebody who got good intentions, you know, a lot of times it's just going to be, we trying to get you with the right guy. I might not be the right guy, but hey, I know a guy that'll be perfect for you. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't that many selfless people out there no more. But I think Roy really want to help him. So, you know, check out the Boxing News playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. Hit the link tree. You can find me everywhere. Patreon, Facebook, the whole nine. Peace.